Hey guys, welcome to Fast AI plugin. In this video, I'm going to go over all the features, especially the new ones. So let's start with the base character blueprint. So we have two base character. One is BPAI base. This is the parent class for all the example AI characters. Then another base you have is the water vehicle base. So all the examples we have here, we have the civilian, aggressive, melee aggressive, range aggressive. Let's look at the range guard. It's using more features. So if you go to face a component and you have all the configs here. So this is the common config. These are pretty much self-explanatory. You have the initial behavior. This is very important if you want to change the initial behavior of your AI. Then you have the AI schedule. This is the new feature for the lifecycle AI. The zone radius is area for the AI. This is for AI schedule. I'll go over this later separately. Sensing, these are basic sensing configuration. You can toggle them here. Increase or change the radius and the vision angle degrees. Attack is this is a very general attack config which applies to both melee and ranged. For example, you have some radius, you have the weapon actor, you have open types, you have take hit attenuation settings, take hit sound, etc. Then you have damage per wound. You might want to configure this. For example, for head, you might to increase that to 100 or some other higher variable. And then you have a specific config for melee attack, such as melee attack moves. You can have as many as you want, which will randomly get executed. Then you have unarmed attack. These are the trace start point. Then you have the damage type class, and then you have specific to range attack. So you just have to fill in the bone names for this. It gets used by AI different way. Then you have the projectile class here for the ranged. This is for the nav agent. Then you have the AI behaviors. You have receive messages. This means you can listen to other AI sending you messages, and you can send message through this triggers. For example, if you on damage trigger, you can send message. See here, send message. You can send message, so it's going to be thread radius, how far you want to reach out. So default animation is for animation for all the behavior states. So you have deaths, you have the default idles animations, then you have movement, blend space, then you have jump animations, and you can override them individually in each setting. This is unchecked, it's going to use the global animations. Otherwise, it will use, if I check this, it will try to use this. You also have damage reactions. The aggressive AI has triggers, which makes them aggressive. For example, this by default, this AI is roaming. It's using these default animations. Then you're going to go to roaming, and you'll see these triggers. See this? If the player goes nearby, it will trigger them. For example, the player must have this player tag, otherwise this AI won't get triggered. So when this AI hears the player with this tag, this behavior will change to melee attack. On sight, it will change to melee attack, and on damage, it will try to investigate. So for example, from distance, if you shoot this AI, it will investigate the location. And also this AI will know which player attacked him. Then you have animation shared. For example, if I play here, as you can see, these are pretty much dummy AI. They're just playing animations, walking animation. When it moves, it plays the walking animation. Nothing very complex, but they're very, very cheap. If you have like hundreds of them, you will find them here in this animation shared folders. As you can see, it uses no anim class. It has its own behavior tree, very simple. See, these are the setups. You have 3 states: idle, roam, flee. For idle, you play the idle animation. This is for running, flee. It will use a run animation. So pretty much it plays the animations. So this is for human, this is for animal. Pretty much same: idle, roam, and flee here. You can just use the same config and it'll work. That's pretty much it. Next is life cycle. This life cycle works 24 hours. It can keep working as long as you keep the game running. As you can see, if I click on it, there are 4 smart objects. The circle ones, these are smart objects. Now if I open the NPC, for example, if you go to face AI component, right, its config, its initial behavior is lifecycle. This is very important. Then you get to use this AI schedule. You don't have to worry about the other thing. So you have here you have the zone, you have AI schedule. So you can have as many AI schedule as one. So they will randomly get executed. For example, you have in the first list you have, so these are the 24 hours time, 20, 15, 10, 5, 0. User tags, you have activity requirements is very important. You add an activity and it has to match smart object on the level. Also, and then you have the montages. Now the hard part is setting up the smart objects. So this is an actor, right? This cube is actor. It could be a bench, it could be a chair, it could be anything. And I have 4 smart objects. It means I have 4 spots, right? For each actor, they can have one smart object definition here. So if I open this, you can create smart object definition by going to Blueprint, all classes. Then you can just type in smart object definition here. This is the one. Then you just plug it in to your smart object. If I open it, it looks like this. So you just fill in exactly what I have here. Then you have the activity text, which has to be the same as that you created over here, chair 1. So you see chair 1, right? And then you have chair 1, right? So they have to match. So it means at 20, this AI will use chair 1. At 15, this AI will chair 2. So this is chair 1. Let's say this is chair 2. This is chair 2, and so on and so on. Next, we have water vehicles. It's pretty much roaming vehicles. You have to use nav mesh because it uses nav mesh. It uses the BP water vehicle base, which is not a character. So you have static mesh, you have buoyancy, you have floating pond movement, and it has some config. If you go to class defaults, and if you go to fast AI, so you have a speed, the speed of the water vehicle. Then you have player check time, player nearby range. These are for how often you want the boat to check how far the player is. If the player is too far away, the boat will stay inactive. It's not going to move around. It will save some frames. And waited location is how long it's going to wait. Find land offset is if it does a line trace from this boat to the land on sea level, how far is it going to go. So make sure the line trace hits the land. The number has to be big. Minimum roaming radius, next roaming radius. This is self-explanatory. Then you have object to line trace. This has to be the landscape. What kind of object the landscape is. If you say world static or world dynamic, for example, if I click on the landscape, go to collision, it's a world static. See, it has to match. Waypoint radius. So when the water vehicle find a location from location 1 to location 2, it creates some waypoints. So that's the radius of it. So keep this default. Waypoint hidden in game. If I uncheck it, so it finds the location from location 1 to location 2, then it creates some waypoints so that it knows where it's going. The last one is AI optimized map, and make sure in the project settings, if you filter for viewport, you will see game viewport client, and then you add this component from here, right there, and then you configure this. This is going to stay empty. You just fill it in. The significance is very important, and the distance, these are very important. Significance is going to be the same as the number over here. So it's the first, so its array is 0. Array start from 0, so 0. Then you have significance. The second one is 1. So 1. This is going to be 2, 2. And then it's going to increase, the distance is going to increase. Then you have for single player, multiplayer, and multiplayer. These two multiplayer. In the code, the single player has code check. So let's say if you're on a server or you're hosting other players, if you have this checked, it's not going to use it. But if you're a single player mode, let's say you're a standalone, it will use this and the multiplayer as well. So let's go over this option. You have the movement component take. Then you have deactive brain of the AI. You can deactivate toggle behavior tree, blackboard, navigation invoker, noise emitter, the fast AI component, and the movement component too. In the multiplayer, you have, this is very important actually, use low quality skeleton mesh. So pretty much you take the current skeleton mesh, which is high quality, you simplify it so that it's just bare bone. I'll teach you how to make one. Then you have hide skeleton mesh, deactivate skeleton mesh, deactivate sight sense and hearing sense. There's no point of having AI at distance to have sight and hearing sense if they're not nearby the player. Then you have the animation optimization. Okay, now I'll show you how I created my own skeleton mesh. If I open this is very low quality. So this is like, yeah, I took the walking animation and turned it into a very simple animation. If you see the skeleton, pretty much no bones are there. It doesn't even move. It just moves in this position. As I see, if I go to play, see the close ones, you have the full animation playing, right? But if you see the distance ones, it's just using the low quality. See that? The farther ones is, it looks like it's walking, but it's not really walking. It's just moving. So that saves some FPS. So I have like about like 100, and this is a fully functional AI NPC. So I'll take, let's say, a walking animation, open it. Right, this is a walking animation. Make static mesh. So I'm going to say static mesh, wall quality walk nm. Say this is a static mesh right now, right? Now what I'm going to do is, say it looks like walking, and then I'm going to export it. So while I export it, I'm going to rename it to SK. So SKLQ walk nm. Export it there. I'm going to import it. Then all I have to change this to skeleton mesh. Import. Yeah, see, it's just a low quality skeleton mesh. You can use that for optimizing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you.